Okay, we are live, and straight away we can see that the S&P 500 has gained about 2.3%. Is that the case? Yes, it has gained 2.36%. 2.36%. That's the gain it has. It remains within striking distance of its session high, while the Nasdaq is up about 2.32%. It has a bit more backtracking in recent trade. It too is holding on to a strong gain. Economic data released this morning showed better than expected new home sales in the US for May, and another decrease in the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey, but also showed a dip in 5-year inflation expectations to 3.1% from 3.3%, which is serving as a positive element for sentiment. All 11 sectors are in the green, up at least 2.3%. The energy sector is one of the leaders, but I think it is the financial sector that is currently the leaderboard that is leading with a gain of 3.47%. For today's outperformance today's performance for the energies of the energy sector, which stands at 3.09%, comes after a woeful showing earlier this week. Even with today's gain, the sector remains at the bottom of this week's leaderboard, having fallen 15.5% since Friday. Crude oil, meanwhile, is up. How much is it up? It is up $3.64 or 3.49% at $107.91. So straight away we will return and to the charts and see what's going on with USAK. USAK is gained 111.1%. Suddenly spiked. I think it did. It just spiked in pre-market session, I believe, or when the market opened. What's the news? I think there's a major news. Let's get the news. It says USA trucks shares soared today or this morning after the company said it agreed to be acquired by logistics services provider DB Schenker for $31.72 per share in cash, in a deal valuing USA truck at roughly $435 million, including assumed cash and debt. The truckload carrier stock was up 112% in recent trading, with more than 560,000 shares exchanging hands against a daily average of 107,000. USA Trucks Board had approved the deal, which is expected to close by the end of 2022. Okay, so it's a major deal. For some reason, it's not going to be it's market participants like that. I think the train has since left the station. There might be opportunities for people to trade expect it to probably retrace, but the deal has been done. It might retrace, and if by the end of the year, it's going to be how would I put it now? With the deal, it's sealed at $31 and some fraction. So if it retraces, there might be opportunities, yes. But things stand right now, it's dead on. It's the train has since left the station, unless if it retraces and provides another opportunity for one to get involved. So even for those who want to get involved with puts, there might be opportunities there. But as it concerns buying, I don't know if there's going to be any opportunity to do so. Okay, let's see. Next, let's move on to the next one, TBLT. Okay, TBLT has gained 55%. It was actually more. It's currently retracing. It was on a move in the pre-market session and spiked even further to all the way to $3.93. And this is not the first time we're seeing tough build spike. Okay, is it? Let's look at another chart and see whether we can see anything there. 60-minute chart. Okay, so it's currently retracing now at $2.68. Momentum is flat. RSI is also indicating some serious weakness here. Sellers are definitely in control of things as of now. Let's see whether there's any news. It was one of the pre-market gainers. It's not optionable. Is there any chance it can rebound? Let's see. Never say never. Let's peak this price of 2.89 and 2.7. 2.89 and 2.7 will give us a difference of 0.19 multiplied by 2.618. You have 0.49742. Add that to the current price of 2.69. We have a rebound target of 3.187. Can it get there? Let's plot a Fibonacci grid and see. Let's pick it from this high, the highest point of this session, and take it all the way down to the lowest, which is at 1.72. So let's leave it here and see how things pan out. So we have various targets, just slightly above where it is. We have 2.81, then the one after that is 3.07, and remember our target is 3.18. So our target is in between 3.39 and 3.07. Okay, so the next resistance will be 2.81 for TBLT. Would that happen? Fingers crossed. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's move on to the next one. Next stock will be BNTC. BNTC is BNTC by Pharma Inc. BNTC by Pharma is has gained 118.93%. And all of these happened during this regular session. Has reached a high of 1.79 at some point. Okay, let's take this high of 1.65 and take this low of 1.65 and 1.47. Let's get that figure. .65 minus 1.47, we have 0.18 multiplied by 2.618, we have 0.47, add that to 1.63, we have a target of 2.1 for BNTC. Okay, let's draw a grid here and take it from 1.799, bring it all the way down to the lowest for this session. Well, not a session, but just lowest we know of. So it's currently at 1.65. Our calculated target is 2.10. There's no guarantee it's going to get there. It hasn't actually gotten there since in this session as well. It has gained 122%. So okay, the next support will be $1.55. It has actually broken that support at some point. Okay, let's move on and see why it's extending. Oh, it's been halted twice. It has been halted twice, yes, so far. Okay, this is the sort of thing you get sometimes with stocks that are of late that are rallying, that started to rally in regular session. Okay, 449 million shares have crossed the table and counting. They might be of great interest to market participants, but given that those halts, the stock, given those halts, they may have stymied its advance. Yeah, it may have, but let's see. We haven't found any news behind this rally. BNTC, let's see. BNTC stock float. Float is 7.02 million shares, relatively small float. It's also optionable, I believe. I saw that. Yes, optionable. And let's see the top movers. 200% gain for the 250 calls. Okay, so market participants they have that in mind. They have the 250 calls, 250 target, 250 price target in mind. They are pricing in a move to that level, but given that it's been halted once, there's no guarantee it's going to get there. Our target is $2.1 for BNTC. Let's move on to WRAP Technologies. Spiked just a few, when was that? Okay, them about start spike after an hour after the market opened. and reached this level of $3.4, and it's now retraced all the way down to where it is now, $2.43, just not far from its 200 minute moving average on this daily chart, on this 1 minute chart rather. Let's see whether we can get a news concerning RAP Technologies. RAP Technologies, which makes equipment for police as well as training systems, up 46% when they wrote this. The company's stock jumped as much as 89% in the session. Shares of the security play are also okay. Okay, yeah, so in anticipation of civil unrest, okay, so that is why RAP is on the move. Let's see, it's also up, it's a penny stock that is optionable. Okay, they are pricing a move to $2. Did we have, okay, we haven't established a target for RAP. Consider $2 calls on the 15th of July series, has gained 500%. But it's the $3 calls that has seen the most volume. Yes, it's seen the most volume. It's also in play as well. It has gained 400%. Let's see whether we can. It hasn't been halted or anything like that. Okay, it hasn't gained 29.95%. Is it going to rally? It's don't bank on that. Don't bank on any rally. Let's plot a grid here. Okay, let's quick calculate our own target first of all. Okay, take here 2.57 and 2.42, 2.57 and 2.42. 2.57 minus 2.42, we have 0.15 multiplied by 2.618, you have 0.39, add that to 2.41, we have a target of 2.80, that's a target for RAP, 2.80. So let's you can now draw the grid, the Fibonacci grid. Okay, so 2.80, is there any? Yes, it has there's a target there, 2.82, so 2.82, it's not the closest target, it's the third one from where it is right now. Support is coming in from its 200 minute moving average. So RAP, I think they make equipment for police, so market participants are anticipating some civil disturbances coming up, so they expect RAP and indeed other related stocks to make some money of late, to make some money in the coming days. So it's getting some resistance from its 10-minute moving average. So let's move on to, if you just joined us, thank you very much. Subscribe, like and share. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The next one is BOXD, BOXD. BOXD Inc. is has gained 15.71%. RSI is improving. So to momentum is improving as well. First line of its 14 period slow stochastic oscillator is above, has since risen above this low line. Is at currently at 74.75. The stock itself is currently, as we speak, slightly above its 10-minute moving average, but still below its 50-minute moving average on this daily chart. So let's see whether we can find any news. There's some couple of news here. Let me see where we can find any news concerning BOXD. Let me click on this link. Okay, I don't think there's any fresh news there. I'm wondering why it was highlighted there. Yeah, that's okay. That was yesterday, but in any case, there isn't any fresh news concerning BOXD. Okay, it's also optionable, penny stock optionable, and the gain is some 10.88%. Has since added about 2 more percent, and okay, they are pricing a move up to you can see $10 calls for the 15th of July series. It has gained 200%, but a tiny volume of only 69. But the highest volume so far is the 250 calls. So there's definitely a move given that volume. There's definitely an anticipation that that's possible. $2.5. Okay, let's return, and if you just join us, thank you very much. Let's compute the target. Compute the target for. Okay, instead of computing, we can just draw a grid and see what we can come up with. Okay, its next resistance is at $2.24. Currently getting support from its 50-minute moving average. So, okay, let's go ahead and calculate a target. Let's take 2.08 and 2.04. Not a lot. Okay, let's be a bit more ambitious. Let's take this 2.11 and 2.0. Okay, so we have a difference of 0.11 multiplied by 2.618. Add that to 2.13. We have a target of 2.41. Okay, it's above its resistance here, 2.41. So target is 2.41 for BOXD. Let's have a look at MITQ. Moving image technologies, again the 17.66%. What's the news? Okay, moving image technologies board authorizes $1 million share buyback. Okay, it's not optionable. Okay, it spiked in the pre-market session. Okay, let's return to US. We don't need to go back there. TBLT. We have a target of 3.18. Will it get there? No, there's no guarantee that will be the case. Let's look at BNTC again. Our target is 2.1. It has actually broken above its highest, so it has printed a new high for this session, which is at 1.81. Yeah, so fingers crossed it's possibly can get there. It's possibly can get to 2.1. That's the one that's been halted twice. Let's look at WRAP. Wrap Technologies. Our target is 2.8. Indeed, there are other stocks in play at the moment. Zendesk, let's see. Zendesk is moving sideways, nothing fascinating there. Okay, so the stock market is holding on to its strong gain, with the S&P 500 up 2.3%, tracking a 5.7% gain for the week. This puts the index on course for only its second weekly gain in the past 13 weeks. The top two weighted technology sector up 2.4% is keeping pace with the broader market, but that is masking relative strength among chip makers. The PHLX Semiconductor Index is up 3.6% today, extending this week's gain of 4.6% versus a 6.1% weight-to-date gain in the tech sector. Lightly weighted wolf speed, WOLF, is up 10.5%. This is a top performer in the SOX index as it extends last week's rebound off a level not seen since, let's see, not seen since September of 2020, while Nvidia is up 3.7%. This is also revisiting its high from Tuesday. So wolf speed, let's see, it's again 10.5%. Yeah, it looks like a stock that can continue to rally. So let's see. Let's take this high of 6.98. Let's take 69.83, 69.41. That to 69.51. So yeah, it has the potential to get to $70.6. 70.6. He hasn't done that so far in this session. So 70.6 is a possibility for wolf speed. Okay, let's read more. TBLT, okay, let's see what it's done. TBLT, okay, we are actually quite bullish on TBLT. You know, it's, well, we know that sometimes when they rally in the pre-market, the reverse will be the case. You know, the profit takers take their money off the table, but well, fingers crossed. We have a target of 3.18. Are you in TBLT? Do you have a position there? It seems to be moving sideways. It seems to have settled for now. Okay, so did you let me, if I'm correct, you got back in at $2, or is it 2,000? Two profits at it's 1,000. Is that a gain? You made 1,100. Oh, and then you're down 2,000, I believe. Oh, wow, okay. Well, it could be done. It could be, but just see, just determine when what you can tolerate, and maybe take your money out, or if you want to wait and see whether there's something that can come out. We haven't seen any news concerning TBLT. Or at the same time as well, what you can also do is, if you are positive, if you feel that something can come out and you still have some money left, you can average down. You can if I mean, because it hasn't gone against you, what you can also do is watch how things pan out. If it retraces further, of course that's going to be painful. Your losses will continue to increase. You can also buy more. That is, if you really believe in it, if it's something you want to hang around for some time. Outside that, you decide whether you're going to cut your losses and move on to something else. But if you still believe there's some relevance there, that something might come out. Just watch and see. It looks stable at the moment. Looks stable. It's not the retracement hasn't continued to occur, but in the next coming session, if it remains like this to the end, there's no guarantee that it will spike again in come Monday. The reverse might be the case. It has gained 50 so far. The gain is about 56%. They may want to take their money off their money more. Profit takers might want to take their money off the table by next session. So you're caught between a rock and a hard place, remaining there to take advantage of further retracement, or the retracement that has already occurred. That is, if you have the resources to do so, or completely abandon it and look for something else. But based on what it has done, we think it has a potential to get to up to 3.18. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Yes, the potential to do that is there. It's just but I can't tell you when or not. But at the same time as well, also look at the broader picture. There's a wider weakness in the broader market. Even though it's also expected that in this coming quarter, that is starting almost practically next Friday. Some experts are seeing that there's some traction is building up, that this quarter is going to be there's going to be a spike in the market, in the broader market. But how it's going to affect TBLT and any other stock, I can't really say for sure. But I'm on trying to say that they in a very, very, very short time, based on what has happened, based on the traction some of these investment houses are getting on their databases, they are seeing some hope. They're seeing some they're seeing some build up of optimism. at least for this coming quarter. But they also expect the next quarter, that's the last quarter, to be back to the business of bearishness. So yes, it has a potential. It has broken through its 15-minute moving average, and this is not to say that it's going to spike or anything, but we're maintaining that target of 3.18. It actually reached $4 at some point. Yeah, but I think the error you made, you probably have to learn from that, is you got back in. What you may have actually done, if you didn't feel, what you may have done was probably just sell a fraction of that, a fraction of what you had, probably up to a third, up to 2/3, and then left the rest, and then if it doesn't go the way you want, then you can close that remaining portion that was left. But outside that, I think the way to go right now is, if you get in, just get out. If you see it's spiking, just get in or get out. If you're already there and it has gained, just take your money out. And if you feel that it's stock you want to get involved, you want to remain with, you can just take your money out and see how things are going to pan out, whether it's going to retrace further for you to get back in. And I mean, things are really bad, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't trade. And there's still money to be made. So it's spiking again now at 2.94. Will it get to 3.1? It's really difficult. It's really difficult. Even the experts, they get this wrong. Because I mean, it's so attractive. You even sometimes you get it. You get your bets right like 10 times, and then I mean, you get back again, and then everything is not good. Everything goes kaput. So it's even though you hear some experienced folks, they'll tell you that that discipline and all that stuff, but they themselves also fall prey to that. Some of them have been trading for decades. It's so it's at 2.98 now. Our target is at 3.18. Okay, got some resistance at that 2.98, and is got resistance at $3, and it's now at 2.93. If it doesn't fall below that 50-minute moving average, there's a good chance it might continue to retrace again. If it holds on there for some time, that will be a bullish sign, a sign that it's only a small number that are trying to take their profits off the table. Well, just see how things pan out. If it retraces to a comfortable level, maybe to that 2.7. Okay, let's see. We have a support of 2.56. It hasn't gotten there yet, but I think the support we have so far now is at 2.81. 2.81 at the moment. That's the next support based on what we have on the screen. It's 2.81. And its biggest headache at the moment is $3. If it breaks through that, expect it to challenge 3.07, where we have a projection, and then the 200-minute moving average, which is at 3.18. Oh, that's actually where our target is. Our target is right on the 200-minute moving average. But it's retracing now, getting support from its 10-minute moving average. So this spike came from after some consolidation, after moving sideways for a couple of minutes. So trying to bounce off this 10-minute moving average. Okay, RSI is also indicating that buyers are still in charge, even though sellers are around, but they haven't changed very much. They haven't taken over yet. Still very much the stuff of buyers at the moment. Momentum is still holding on. Okay, it's on the move again, trying to spike and challenge that $3 resistance. Let's see. Market debt. Definitely has to be one of the most active stocks right now. 144 million shares. Yeah, so far there are bullish signs here. You can see hasn't that 10-minute moving average is inching up, but the price hasn't fallen below it. That's encouraging. That's a positive. trying to challenge that $3 resistance. Yes, just right on it now. Retrace back again. Okay, broken above that resistance. Next target is at 3.07. That's the resistance, which is our projection. Outside that, the next one is at 3.18, where our target is. Okay, has broken that 3.07 resist level or projection. It's at 3.09 right now. Okay, all right. So you're in now. It got some resistance from that $3.07 projection, Fibonacci projection. RSI has improved since, even though it's slightly waning. Momentum is also strong as well. Have you gotten in? If you're brave enough, you can just get in with not a lot of money, just something that is you're comfortable with. At the moment, it's at 3.07 now. Use a market order. Things are quite bullish now. It has broken above that projection of 3.07 again, and getting support from it. Next target is its 200-minute moving average at 3.18, which is where our target is. So let's even try and extend our target. Let's take 2.98 and 2.89. So that will give us 0.09 multiplied by 2.618. We add that to the current price of 3.08. We have 3.31. That's our second target, 3.31. So if you've gotten in, left to me, I'll say any profit you see there, just take it. You can place an order to sell at market order to sell at something, a marginal profit or something like that, so that at least you because things look bullish at the moment, and it's also liquid. You can see the huge amount of volume involved here. 447 million shares. People are watching, they are trading. There's money in the stock at the moment, so I think it has retraced slightly now, getting support from its 10-minute moving average. Is it going to bounce from there again? Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Seems to be bouncing. Hopefully, let's see. Retracing again. But bear in mind that if you trade too much, if you trade below the restrictions you might have, I think you don't need to. Depending on how much you're trading, if you have over $25,000, then it's not a problem. You don't need to fear. You don't need to worry about the regulation. I can't remember what it's called. Trading below more than 4 orders, I think, 4 transactions in 1 week or thereabouts, or beyond, or more than what you opened with, your opening balance, one of those. So it has fallen below that $3 support, which is now a resistance at the moment. Yeah, more weakness coming in. The RSI is indicating that even though there's some weakness now, but the sellers haven't taken charge. They're just right at the gate. The RSI is just right at 52.41. Anything below 50 indicates it's the seller's market at the moment. So momentum is evidently flat. Yes, not flat, but waning below 25 at the moment. So did you get in? So far it's not it has weakened. But there's some hope here. We can see that the momentum is retracing. It's now indicating that it's oversold. Maybe I should have maybe we should have actually used this oscillators, this momentum. Right now, probably it is actually looking like a good time to buy. You can see momentum is totally oversold right now. It oscillates between 0 and 100. So right now we have 7.15 on the fast line. So if it rebounds from there, then it's an indication that the price is improving. So RSI is also gone into the gone into the negatives, gone into the seller's territory. But it has bounced off its it looks like it's trying to bounce off its 15-minute moving average. Momentum is still oversold, but if it gets in there, there's a good chance it will rebound again and come off with some positive or positively. RSI is trying to turning up gradually. Okay, not yet. All right. The opportunity to get in is gradually escaping, but it's up to you though. But I'm not encouraging, I'm not saying you should, but at this sort of level, and this is a very good time. You can see it's oversold, but trying to come out of that oversold condition, and it's only buying that will bring it out from there. Even though the best time would have been when it was down here at 3.37. Right now it's at 11 point, is it? It's retracing back in again, but it all depends on what your situation is, and you know what you know how much risk you're willing to take. And like I said earlier on, if you're not going to incur the restrictions of from your broker for trading so many times. Okay, right now you can see it's oversold now, totally oversold at this sort of levels. Even though it doesn't mean there's no guarantee, it may continue, it may linger in that situation as the stock continues to retrace. I would say 70% of the time observing the oscillator tends to work, but sometimes doesn't always. It's not a guarantee it's going to work, because if it's oversold, it may continue to decay at that sort of condition as the price continues to retrace. And even even while it's retracing, it may also pop out of that oversold, but that may not also be reflected in the price as such. So it has fallen below its 50-minute moving average now. It's resting on that projection of 2.81. It may fall below that. Okay, yeah, then forget about it. Not today. Give it some time. There'll be other trades. Yes, don't. It's today's yeah. Forget about it then. Don't. It's not. There'll be so many more so many more days to trade other things. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Yes. Sometimes I forget to even right now I'm not trading tough builds. You can see now it's rising from that overbought condition, oversold condition on the RSI. Doesn't mean that it was going to spike all the way back up again, but I've used it on there's a site, there's a platform. It's mostly for European traders, because the instruments are not exactly, I don't think it's legally, it's not allowed in the US, but I think some people might still be able to trade it. It's they might still be able to trade it. I think people in the US might still be able to trade it. So the point I'm trying to make is that I use this oscillator sometimes to trade the S&P 500 especially. So when it retraces, I buy, or when it's retracing, this oscillator is retracing, I buy. And then like I said, 60% of the time, 76% of the time it tends to work. And when it's coming out, when it's trying to come out, that's when I'm closing my position. Or sometimes when it's if it's rising, it's overbought, I short it, and then when it's dropping, I close it out. So, but sometimes it doesn't go in your direction; it goes against you, and maybe you don't want it, because it's maybe you may probably leave it there and to do other things. So I'm trying to say that day trading is on that platform. It's here. Let me see. It's here. It's allowed. Yes, this is it. It's called lcg.com, but warning is that I think it's not allowed. It's not legally. I think the regulation in the US is that you are not allowed to trade it. But I don't see what's probably, you can always, I'm not advising that you sign up, but you can have a look and see whether you can sign up, whether you can, and you can fund it with as small as $20, and then this is S&P 500, and you can fund it with your card. That's a good thing about it. And then your credit card or debit card, and take a punt and see what you can make of it and all that stuff. There are other okay, what these are called the CFDs and spread betting. So yeah, so you can see it's this is the same oscillator we're watching over. This is the momentum oscillator. So sometimes, as I said earlier on, it doesn't always work. So the positions I have here now, I'm stuck there because I had to do other things. I was day trading on them, but yeah, so I just need to put more money and look at what's going on there. You can see S&P is at 3892, and the thumbnail I have there is saying that there's a good chance it might rebound to around 41 or there 4,100 or thereabouts. But in this coming quarter, so let's see. We were looking at let's look at BNTC. We also have a target there, target of 2.1 for BNTC. Okay, it has decayed further. Okay, let's see. There are other ones. Let's see. Let's see what they're saying here from Charles Schwab. We said US stocks are solidly higher in early afternoon, trading as equities look to close out the week with a strong gain after the S&P 500 has posted 10 out of 10 out of last 11 weeks in red. The sharp rebound is unfolding as investors are appearing to brush aside rising concerns about recession as the Fed and other global central banks aggressively hike rates to try to arrest a persistent surge in inflation. Treasuries are giving back some of a rally this week that put noticeable downside pressure on yields, and rates are rebounding. Meanwhile, the US dollar is adding to a weekly decline after recently rallying to multi-decade highs. Crude oil prices are rebounding from the week's solid drawdown, and gold is seeing a modest decrease. The economic calendar offered some upbeat reports as new home sales unexpectedly jumped. And although consumer sentiment hit a record low, the inflation outlook components improved. In equity news, FedEx missed quarterly estimates but offered upbeat guidance, while all 34 financial institutions that participated in the Fed's annual stress tests passed. Asia finished out the week in positive fashion, and Europe closed broadly higher as the global markets show some resiliency in the face of recession worries. The Dow Industrial is up 2.2%, while the S&P 500 is let's get the S&P. S&P is up 2.46%. And Nasdaq is advancing by 2.46% as well. No, S&P is advancing to, okay, they had the same thing. WTI crude oil is rising 2.38% to, let's get a figure. to 106.83%. Sorry, 106.83 dollars per barrel. The Brent crude oil is increasing 1.91 at 108.37 dollars per barrel. The gold spot is sleeping 1.7 to 1,828.10 per ounce, and the dollar index is declined 0.2% to $104.2. Volatility in the equity markets remained this week, but the equity markets were positive, and S&P 500 is on pace to exit bear market territory after joining the Nasdaq and Russell 2000 recently. Stocks showed some resiliency in the face of high inflation, forcing the Fed to get more aggressive with monetary policy, as Jerome Powell reiterated this week on Capitol Hill that the central bank will need to remain aggressive to restore price stability. His comments came after the Fed raised the target for the Fed funds rate by 75 basis points last week, and suggested more hikes of that magnitude could come, as discussed by Charles Schwab's chief investment strategist Lisa Saunders in her article. Fed goes for inflation's juggler with 75 basis points rate hike. 75 basis points is 0.75%. So Lisa examines the rate hike and how the Fed vowed to forcefully tackle inflation while conceding the path to a soft landing has become more challenging. Recession chatter has picked up as a result contributing to the market volatility. Okay, let's see what's going on down here. Let's see, just still TBLT, the biggest, the most active stock. BNTC, the one thereafter. Carnival Corp. Let's look at that. CCL. We didn't look at it earlier on. Carnival Corp. Up 11.09%. What's the news for Carnival? Carnival Corp executive sees a success for close-to-home cruises, with many sailings achieving occupancy of above 100%. And focusing on improving price through next year. Okay. Let's look at FEMY. It's gained 28%. That's actually retracing. No news. Okay, thank you. No face, no case, and I will endeavor to come back towards the close of the trading session. Okay, so thank you everybody who joined in for doing so, and